You are listening to the Shmiras Einayim podcast. Chizuk and practical help to overcome our most difficult nisayon.
As Hashem continue, and the next part of this journey, as Hashem, the chizuk that we give, and we get to by talking about the inyan. The more we talk about it, the less the Yetzer Hara can hide. This is something that the Yetzer Hara thrives on. The Yetzer Hara is so happy when nobody talks about it. And I've had guys tell me in the past that they felt like such a Russia. Everybody here is tzaddikim except for me. I'm the big Russia over here. Yeah, why? Because I look at this and I see that and I think about this, and I'm the big Russia, and everybody else over here are big tzaddikim. And every individual thinks that, and that's why you don't have chizuk. When you feel like I'm lower than everybody, you feel like I'm the worst guy over here, I'm the big Russia over here, and everybody else is big tzaddikim. Why? Because obviously, nobody talks about it. Must be they don't have an issue. I don't talk about it either, but that's because I'm embarrassed. Yeah? When we show the Yetzer Hara for what he is, and we tell him that we're not going to be fooled, and we're not going to allow this to get us, so he doesn't like that so much. He doesn't like to be blown open. Everybody can see the Yetzer Hara. Yeah, like it says by Yaakov Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu is fighting the Sar Shel Esa, which is also in a way like the Satan, yeah. In the way like the Yetzer Hara, he says, why do you tell me why do you want to know my name? Why do you want to know my name? Meaning Yetzer Hara doesn't want to give away his name. He doesn't want to. He's like an undercover agent. Yeah. Once you know his name, that's it. He's lost it. Yeah. He's lost it. He's lost. He doesn't want to tell you. So we give each other chizuk. Be'ez Hashem, it'll take away a lot of the Yetzer Hara. The truth is that we are an Am Kadosh. We are a very holy nation, and we say every day, numerous times a day, Asher Kidishanu b'mitzvosav v'tzivanu. Hashem, you made us Kadosh. How did you make us Kadosh? With your mitzvahs. And you commanded us with the mitzvah of Netilas Yadayim, with the mitzvah of tzitzis, with the mitzvah of tefillin, yeah, with the mitzvah of Birchas HaTorah, Talmud Torah. There's so many mitzvahs that we do all the time, even though we don't make brachos on Chesed. Chesed is also, obviously, the mitzvahs we don't make brachos. It's different inyan why we don't make brachos on Chesed. Yeah. But the Maaseh, we are Kadosh. We're an Am Kadosh. We pump ourselves more. Every time we do a mitzvah, every time we learn Torah, we pump ourselves more with Kedusha. But being Kadosh means that we have to be inside. We have to be Kadosh too. We have to keep ourselves Torah. And the Chavetz Chaim writes that the main place for this is in our eyes. We have to keep ourselves Torah in our eyes. The eyes are the gateways. The eyes, in a way, you can look at it. Your mouth, if you don't want to eat something, you keep your mouth closed. Yeah? I don't there's so many other things out there now that I eat. I keep my mouth closed. Listening to Lashon Hara, so they say that Hashem made it the pinkies, the fingers, so like that, so they can fit right in. Yeah? Eyes also have covers. But if they're not covered, yeah, we can walk around like this. We might smash into a pole if you walk around with your eyes closed, right? So we're definitely not supposed to do that. There are other ways of averting the eyes, looking it down or other things, but we don't have control necessarily of what comes into our eyes because it could just, boom, flash right in front of us. Yeah? That's what could happen. And we have to do our best because this is it. This is the gateway. And the more we keep ourselves tahor, the more we can get that Kedusha inside of us, the more we can fill ourselves up with Kedusha. Very interesting. It's a cute line from the Vilna Goin. I don't know, cute, but it's a nice smach from a pasuk. It says in Parshas Vayeshev, when Yehuda wants to pay up, he owes money to this Zoyna. He doesn't know who the Zoyna is. And he wants to pay up, and he sends his friend, the Adulami, think that's what it is. Adulami, yeah. And what does he say when he's looking around? Aye hakadesha he beinayim. Yeah. Where is the kadesha, the zoina, in the crossroads? That's the literal translation. But there's a little bit of a play on words. If you just switch, not even the letters, just the vowels around, you can read it. Aye hakadusha. Where is the kedusha? He beinayim. It's in the eyes. The kedusha is in the eyes. That's what the Torah tells us. A little bit. It's not pashut pshat in the pasuk. Yeah. But ayeh kedusha. Where is the kedusha? He beinayim. That's in your eyes. That's what it is. The gateway to your mind, the gateway to your soul is the eyes. That's the most crucial place where we need to protect ourselves. I just saw recently that when Yaakov came down to Mitzrayim, saw last week's parsha, he came and he looked at Yosef. What was the thing that he was worried about most about Yosef? That he was a goy. Yeah, that he was a goy. He could believe that Yosef was alive, but how could it be 22 years without being in a base medrash? 22 years without being around Torah. 22 years without having a kesher to ruchnius. How could it be that he's still the Yosef Atzadik who left? And this is, unfortunately, in the history of Klal Yisrael, this is not an uncommon thing. Years ago, and lasted for a long, long time, there were the Cantonist decrees in Russia, where they kidnapped children, very young children, and they kept them in the Tsar's army for 25 years. How did these children come back out when they were finished 25 years being around goyim? Being around disgusting. What?
Most of them acted like goyim.
Most of them acted like goyim. Yeah, there were a few who were able to hold on. But even the few that were able to hold on, they weren't the same. They wouldn't be the same as if they were being yeshiva and they would be around Torah and Yidden. They were with goyim for 25 years. 25 years is a long time. Yeah, a very long time.
It's
Yeah. How many people are? Yeah. Lemaise, and that's unfortunately a lot of people fell off like that. So Yosef is 22 years, and what does Yaakov Avinu do? Yaakov looks into his eyes. I want to see what's going on inside your eyes, because if there's a stain, I'll see it. If there's something that you did with your eyes over 22 years, even if you did tshuva, the stains don't go away so fast. I want to see what's going on in your eyes, Yosef. And he's able to see crystal clear diamonds of eyes. Yosef did not look. Like we already discussed the previous week. Yosef did not look. He didn't look at Ashes Potiphar. He didn't look at the other girls, women who were trying to get his attention when he became Mishnah Lamelech. He did not look. And that was unbelievable. That was Yosef Atzadik. But that's what you see. The eyes, that's the Makom Kadosh. That's the Makom where either a person can remain Kadosh Vitar, or he can be stained. And we have this opportunity. Another pasuk in Eicha, Einene Ola Lenafshi, the eyes are the Ola of the Nefesh. They're the ones who have the ability to corrupt the soul. It's through the eyes that the person can lose his status of Tahara, Kedusha. We already discussed in the past. Yitzchak Avinu didn't have a Yetzer Hara. He was called Elokei Yitzchak, even though Yitzchak was still alive, because he didn't have a Yetzer Hara, because he was blind. There was no opportunity for the Yetzer Hara to come in because he couldn't see. Having a Yetzer Hara, we said also at the time, is an intrinsic part of life. That is part of life. Having the Yetzer Hara to deal with is a big part of what we're here for in life. And if you don't have it, it's like you're dead. Yeah, it's kind of like a funny thing. We're fighting our Yetzer Hara. I don't want the Yetzer Hara, but if you didn't have the Yetzer Hara, then you'd be dead. Oh, La'asid Lavo is going to be a different Metzius. La'asid Lavo, we're going to have life without Yetzer Hara. What exactly that's going to be like? Right now, we need the Yetzer Hara in order to fulfill our tachlis. We have to be able to fight him. We have to be able to use the Yetzer Hara in certain ways to serve Hashem better. La'asid Lavo will be different. We should be zeicher to see it with pure eyes. Be'ez Hashem. Lo sasuru acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem is one of the shesh mitzvahs timidis. A person has the ability every day to be Mekayim, every second. The Sheish Mitzvahs Tamidiyos, Avas Hashem, believing in Hashem, the Ichud of Hashem, amongst others. And Lo Sasura Acharei Lebavchem Arei Einechem. A person cannot go and follow his eyes. The eyes have the ability to pull us. Like I think I mentioned before over here, that it's amazing even when you're sitting in a place and you know beforehand that there's going to be a Yetzer Hara over here. And you know also that it's cheap. And you know also that I'm not going to gain anything from it. So why do I want to look? And at the same time, when it's actually B'Shas Ma'aseh, when it's right there in front of you, you actually want to look. It's like kind of like cigarettes, yeah? On the box of cigarettes, it says, poison, this will kill you. And sometimes it says even worse. Sometimes it's very graphic on the cigarette boxes. This will, it takes away your ability to have children. And then sometimes there are even pictures, yeah? A person's mouth who smokes looks like this. Yeah, you smell like and people still buy it. And people still buy it. And they buy it, and they buy it, and they buy it. And it says on it, poison. That's what it's like. The Yetzer Hara, you're standing there right in front of the Yetzer Hara. You know it's wrong, and yet you feel that draw. It's pulling you. It's pulling you. The Yetzer Hara is very strong. Obviously, when you know that it's wrong, it's much easier than when you don't know that it's wrong. Or when you know clearly that I shouldn't be doing this, you still might feel the draw, but it's easier to fight against it versus when you don't know, or when it's not clear even. I know it's wrong, but like, what does that mean it's wrong? People can convince themselves, like we discussed in the past, that it's Chassidus, Yeah, I'm not a Fermi like that. I don't have to keep this law in the Torah. Yeah, I don't have to do that. And people can convince themselves of those things, unfortunately. But it's only because the Yetzer Hara pulls at us. One of the biggest, most important traits that a person can be koine in his life is self-control. A person has to have the ability to say no even when I want yes. Even I want it. That's what self-control means. Self-control is not necessarily, or bechira, let's say. Bechira isn't the ability to choose between, yes or no. A cow can do that also. A cow can decide, I don't want to eat any more grass. Now I want to eat grass. I want to eat this grass. I don't want to eat that grass. Yeah? A cow can decide all that too. Yeah? He can decide, okay, I want to go to sleep now. Okay, I want to wake up now. Okay, I want to do, yeah? What is the ability that a person has is I want to and I'm not going to. Because I know there's something bigger than something better and there's something more important. And even though I have a natural urge to do it, I'm not going to do it anyway. People have this problem in a lot of areas. Smoking is one of them. Drinking is another one. Eating is another one. A lot of people who overeat and they know that it's wrong.
Sleeping.
Yeah. Sleeping is another one. Sleeping is a big one. Sleeping is a very tough thing. A person has a hard time getting up. Everybody has their own Yetzer Hara. Everybody has what's more nogea to them. Yeah, for some people, waking up in the morning is very difficult. Other people, it's very easy. Some people, that cigarette is just calling out to me.
Some people have a problem to go to.
Some people have a problem. That's true too. That's true. You might even have the same person.
And usually it happens together.
The same person. Hard to get on the one hand, the Yetzer Hara gets you both ways. Yeah. He tells you, you have so much to do. How can you go to sleep? On the other hand, he'll say, oh, just stay asleep. In the morning,
so much.
In the morning, he's saying, oh, you deserve it. What do you mean? Last night you told me I have so much to do. So why am I sleeping? And this morning you're telling me to sleep? Yeah, because he doesn't care that he's a hypocrite. He doesn't care that he has to lie to you outright. And he will do whatever he has to get you to do what he wants from you. When a person has self-control, means that I have the ability to control the Yetzer Hara. I have the ability to control some of my natural urges that I want. I want to have that extra donut. I want that extra donut. No. And you know what? There are even exercises that a person can do to get more self-control. A person can I can decide on an exercise. For example, let's say Shmir Sinai. One of the exercises a person can do is when he's in the base medrash, he can decide for the next 10 minutes, I'm not going to look. If somebody walks in, I'm not going to look. 10 minutes, I'm not going to look. A lot of times you hear the door open automatically, you turn your head.
Right.
I want to see who it is. Does it really make a difference who it is? Do we really care? Now, is it asur? Is it asur when and it's not some scantily clad lady who walks in? Yeah, it's not preachers walking in. I hope not. Yeah, yeah. It's not usually, Baruch Hashem, the Beis Medrash, we're okay. But what am I doing? Why am I? You know why? Because it becomes habit. I'm curious and I want to see. I can do an exercise. I can say, right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to decide that not. For the next 10 minutes, for the next 20 minutes, whatever it is. And you learn self-control. Just like I was able to control myself during Seder for those 10 minutes, for those 15 minutes. So too, on my walk home, which takes about 10 minutes, I'm able to keep my eyes to myself. There's training. It's practice. But over here, I didn't have really much. You had somewhat of a Yetzer Hara, a little bit. It wasn't the same thing. It wasn't the same Yetzer Hara, but it's practice. The same thing in other places. A person can practice. Let's say a person wants a cigarette. Could I go another 5 minutes without a cigarette? Another 5 minutes? 5 minutes, that's it. Yeah, but I haven't had one in 20 minutes. Okay, fine, I'll have one. Another 5 minutes? Just wait 5 minutes. I learned to control myself a little bit more. After those 5 minutes are up, take the cigarette. Take it. You said the training is 5 minutes. The next time maybe it'll be 6 minutes. If the 5 minutes I couldn't, so maybe next time will be 4 minutes. If I couldn't, I can hold out 5 minutes. So let's start. Maybe that's too high for me. It's too difficult. A person can train themselves to have self-control. Whatever inyan they're working in, certainly in this inyan, the chashuv inyanim, it's just not worth it. What do I gain by picking my head up to look to see who walks in here? Nothing. I don't gain anything. If it's shaykh to me, then the person will come over to me. Am I looking for somebody specifically? I'm waiting for somebody specifically? Or no, I just like...
but even answering the phone sometimes.
Even answering the phone, that's right.
Some people have to answer the phone.
Other what's interesting now is that there are two categories of people, yeah? There's a person who has to look at a text, and then there's a person who has to pick up the phone, to a phone call, yeah? A lot of people in the text world, they don't want to pick up phone calls. They even get annoyed by phone calls. Yeah, there are people I know people that go fundraising. They go fundraising for yeshivas, and they don't have smartphones, and it's impossible. They can't even get to people because they try to call people up. Nobody answers their phones. Nobody even listens to their messages. Yes, the takoli, the voicemail. Nobody even listens to them anymore. I know people like that don't listen to voicemail. There's no point leaving a voicemail for them because they don't listen to it. A text they'll respond to them. But not only will they respond to it right away. Yeah, not only it could be right away, but they can. So there are people who partially don't have smartphones at all. But when they go fundraising in Chutz La'aretz, they have to rent a phone or whatever that has texting because ein breira is the only way. Yeah. Now I'm not giving a heter for that. Whoever stops the tape listening to it at this point, you must ask a Rav, your own personal Rav's shaila before doing this. Yeah, maybe I should have said that before. Lamai said that, but that's what you see. There are people like that. So the same thing with picking up a phone call. I need to pick it up. Who is it? A lot of times it's I don't know who it is. You don't know who it is. It could just be some junk call. And who says it's a chashuv at all? Why are you picking it up versus, why are you doing that? Because I have to. It becomes like, that's a habit. Are you waiting for an important phone call? Is your wife in labor or something and you have to go to the hospital right this second? Is that what's going on? Right now, I'm not going to do it. For the next 10 minutes, and you learn self-control.
Thank you for listening to this Foundations podcast production. If you liked today's episode, don't forget to subscribe. And if you know someone who this podcast might help, don't forget to let him know. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.